Hey everyone, and welcome back. So today, we are tackling a very, very modern problem, but we're going to be using a guide that is, believe it or not, ancient. We're diving into a 2,500-year-old method for spotting a fake guru. This is going to be good.
I mean, just think about it. We are absolutely swimming in a sea of experts, influencers, and, self-proclaimed gurus, right? They're all promising answers. But in this total flood of information, how do you even begin to sort the genuine from the fake? Who can you actually trust? It's a huge question for all of us today.
Well, it turns out there's a 2,500-year-old toolkit designed for this exact challenge. Seriously, it comes from this ancient Pali text called the Vīmaṁsakasutta, and it gives us a step-by-step method for doing a really deep, personal investigation into whether a teacher is the real deal.
Now, what's really wild about this is who's saying it. This is the Buddha himself. He's encouraging his followers not to just take his word for it, but to actually scrutinize him. He's not setting himself up as some god who demands blind faith. He's basically positioning himself as a teacher of critical thinking. He's inviting you to test his claims. How cool is that?
But here's the thing. To really unlock this guide, a simple, surface-level translation just isn't going to cut it. The ancient Pali language is packed with so much nuance, so we're going to use this really unique three-step process. First, we'll give you the modern dictionary definition. Then we're going to go deeper, like ancient linguists, to find the word's root meaning. And finally, we'll put on our visual storyteller hats to create a powerful metaphor that makes the whole concept unforgettable. Okay, so let's start with the key term right from the title, Vīmaṁsaka. Our first modern translation gives us the investigator. It's accurate, but it feels a little cold, a little distant. But when we dig into the word's roots, we get something way more active and personal. The mindful prober. Can you feel the difference there?
And this is where the visual translation really helps. That first one, investigator, makes you think of a detective with a magnifying glass, right? They're observing, they're analyzing, but they're doing it from a bit of a distance. It's an intellectual process of looking at something.
But the mindful prober? That suggests something so much more intimate. The root meaning literally implies touching with the mind. This is not about looking from afar. This is a careful, close-up, personal examination. It's about, metaphorically speaking, getting your hands dirty to feel the texture of the truth for yourself. So, with that mindset, where do we start?
The first step is what we can call the purity test. And this is all about observing a teacher's actions, what you can see with your own eyes and hear with your own ears. It's grounded in real, tangible evidence, not just some abstract ideas. Okay, so the text asks the prober to look for 3 specific states of mind that are revealed through action. The best way to think about it is like looking at a glass of water. Are the teacher's actions sankilita, defiled, or kind of muddy with things like greed or anger? Are they vitimisa, mixed, sometimes clear, sometimes muddy? Or are they consistently vodata, perfectly pure and crystal clear? The whole goal is to find a teacher whose actions are always pure.
But, and this is a huge but, anyone can look good for a day or a week. A single observation just isn't enough. This investigation is not a snapshot. Think of it more like a long exposure photograph. It has to stand the test of time.
So the sutta lays out 2 critical long-term checks. First is this purity maintained over a long time. The Pali word is digaratam. And second, and this is the real kicker, does the teacher develop faults, idinava, when they become famous and successful? This is the ultimate stress test. I mean, it's pretty easy to be virtuous when no one's watching. The real test is if that purity holds up under the bright lights of fame and success.
So what's the goal of all this? All this probing and long-term watching, it's not about just finding flaws to be cynical. The real goal is to build a type of confidence, a type of faith that is so solid, so real, that you can actually stand on it. And the text has this absolutely beautiful term for this outcome. Akaravati saddha. This is the prize you get at the end of this whole journey. It's the kind of faith that is earned, not just given to you. It's the result of your own hard work. So let's run our translation process on this one too. A good modern translation of Akaravati saddha is reasoned faith. Sounds pretty good, right? But that root meaning gives us something way more structural and solid. Faith with a visible foundation. See? It's not just an idea in your head, it's a structure you can actually see and trust.
So what does blind faith look like? Well, it's like building a beautiful house on shifting sand. Sure, from a distance it might look impressive, but it has no real foundation. It's unstable, it's unreliable, and you know the first big storm that comes along is just going to wash it all away.
But akaravati saddha, that faith with a visible foundation, is completely different. It's like building a strong, modern house, but you've personally gone down and inspected the foundation. You can see the solid bedrock it's built on. You've tested it. It is stable, it's secure, and it cannot be shaken by winds of doubt or criticism.
And the text itself just concludes with this incredibly powerful statement. This kind of confidence is unshakable for one simple reason. It is rooted in seeing, in your own direct evidence and your own personal verification. It's not something somebody told you to believe, it's something you have confirmed for yourself.
So here's the bottom line. This ancient guide isn't just about ancient teachers. It is a timeless and honestly an incredibly practical method for critical thinking. It really empowers you to navigate our crazy complex world not with cynicism, but with a clear-eyed, evidence-based confidence. It's like a superpower.
So I'll leave you with this thought. This whole toolkit for being a mindful prober, you can apply it to any idea, any leader, any product, or any claim that you come across. The only question left is, what are you going to investigate first?